Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Salva Sharani and my student ID number is 20400124003. And on this occasion, I would explain my answer of phonetics and phonology assignment. First question is, what do you know of communication, language, and linguistics? And what are they different and how are they related to one another? And my answer is, based on what I've read, communication can be defined as the process of conveying a message from a sender to a receiver by using symbol. This communication has three forming components, namely the sender, and the message, and the recipient. Basically, humans communicate by using two means of communication. There are language and sign. Language is a method for a system of communication used by humans to communicate meanings or message from thoughts and feeling, which contrast constructive from conventionalized elements or symbols such as sound, word, and process, and also sentence and meaning. Linguistics is a study which is simply focused on exploring about language. Theoretically refers to what linguistic about language, and scientifically probably refers to what research have found about language. How are they related to another? Language is a tool for communication. Linguists study language scientifically, and communication is the broader concept that includes both language and another non-verbal methods. Question number 2 is referring to question 1. In what area does phonetics and phonology belong? Please explain your answer in detail. Phonetics and phonology are both part of linguistics that study speech sound, but they are focused on different aspects. Phonetic is the study of speech sound. It's about the physical side of sounds, how are they made and heard, and what they look as the sound waves. And phonology, the study of sounds pattern, is about how sounds work inside a language, how are they organized, change, and follow patterns. Think of phonetics as studying purpose of the sound. Phonology look as how language used in meaningful way. Question number 3. What do phonetics and phonology and pronunciation exist in the same area or context? Place your answer and give it example if necessary. Phonetics and phonology are and pronunciation exist in related but distinct contexts. They are deal with speech sounds, but their focus on scope are different. Phonetics focus on the physical properties of speech sounds, transmit and preserve, and phonology examines how our sound function within a particular language. Pronunciation is the practical application of phonetics and phonology. It refers to how individual produce speech sounds correctly in a given language. To clarify position of pronunciation, it's good to briefly describe what those skills. A productive skill or receptive skill can generally be understood as the language skill that processes language output in the form of speech, while reading skill give rise to product in the form of text. Second is receptive skill, and the third is productive skills. Question number 4. What do you know of phonetics and pronunciation? What are their differences? How they are related to each other? My answer is phonetics is the scientific study of speech sound, focusing on how sounds are produced, transmitted, and perceived. It provides knowledge about speech organs and how they function to create sound in a language. Phonetics help learners understand the mechanics of speech, including articulation, stress, and intonation. Pronunciation, on the other hand, refers to the actual way a speaker produces and sounds is given a language. Involves the correct articulation of sounds, placement, and patterns to communicate effectively. How are they related to another? Is the foundation of proper pronunciation. Learning phonetics help language learners understand how to produce sounds correctly and use appropriate intonation patterns. Without phonetic knowledge, learners may struggle with the pronunciation. And for example, an Indonesian language learner who knows phonetics will understand the difference between this and the. this instead of this similarly. Phonetics help learners recognize stress pattern. It works like event and even. And this next question, what do you know of phonology and pronunciation? What are the differences and how are they related to another? To each phonology is the study of how sounds function within a particular language, focusing on their patterns, rules, and relation between sounds. It examines aspects such as stress, intonation, and how different phonetics elements interact in speech. Pronunciation, on the other hand, refers to the way words and sounds are actually spoken. It involves the articulation of speech sounds, correct sound stress, sentence rhythm, and intonation, ensure effective communication. Phonology and pronunciation are closely related because phonology provides the foundation of pronunciation. Phonology studies sound patterns and rules, while pronunciation applies these rules in speech. For example, phonology explains why stress placement in a word like event effective and its meaning and intelligibly. And phonology describes process like assimilation, and pronunciation involves using this pattern naturally in conversation. And the last question is, what are the implications of phonetics and phonology on teaching English pronunciation? Please explain your answer. Phonetic and phonology are important in teaching English communication pronunciation because they help students understand how sounds are made and used in speech. Phonetics and pronunciation focus on how sounds are produced. For example, some English sounds like in thing and in this do not exist in many languages, making them difficult for learners, teachers, and show students to position their tongue and lips to produce these sounds correctly. And phonology and pronunciation deals with the pattern of sounds in a language, such as stress, intonation, and connected speech. For instance, meaning some words are impressive more than others. If the learner do not understand this, they may speech sound unnatural. And the last is teaching strategies. Minimal peers practice helps students hear and produce different sounds. Pronunciation drills improve articulation. Stress and intonation exercise makes speech sounds more natural. Listening activities expose students to a native pronunciation. Thank you.